Very good. Have either of you seen it? Obviously. Use anything and it crashes.
There's the gigs. Okay, yeah, it's kind of.
Okay, cool. So, I guess, you guys do anything to also manage like user experience, like track exceptions, bugs? Yeah.
Ads. Sometimes okay.
Got it. Alright, cool. You guys have a ton of mobile apps out there. I understand there's like a consolidation effort too, to unify them into one mobile app. So you're merging probably a lot of code from different projects together right now. So what's your current like priority?
Docs in the field.
Just delivering features? Just delivering these features, or?
Well, lots are pretty much catching up to what's already there in previous apps. Few of the other features.
Okay. Alright, cool. That's helpful. Were you guys in the earlier session yesterday? Did you meet me? Okay. So my name's Joe Ocasio, actually. I'll just give you the really quick intro slide that I gave everyone else. This is me this morning. I flew here from San Francisco. This is me in the beach in the rain. I was trying to go for a run and I got stuck in a torrential downpour. I left the building, it was fine, there was no rain, and then suddenly stinging raindrops were flying in my face, so I had to like go hide behind it everywhere. I've been doing this for about 3 years, so I used to be a Relic customer. I used to be an ops guy carrying a BlackBerry pager. And I used to own like a monitoring tool set that was pretty much unmanageable, like a lot of on-prem stuff, HP. I don't know if you know HP stuff. It's horrible, but use it. It's super old. So now I do rollout training and what's called a software analytics architect, which is a fancy like sales engineering title, basically. So I do like presentations and stuff like that. Today we're going to talk about mobile for you guys. A special little breakout session just for you. At a high level, we have a mobile SDK that does everything. So you might be familiar with crash analytics for crash reporting, Mixpanel for analytics, and like bug snag or segment or something like that for air tracking. And crash analytics has like breadcrumbs, things like that. We do all those things in our mobile SDK. We also automatically instrument all the HTTP requests. So every API call is saved. We give you different granularities, 90 days of crash reporting and analysis. Interaction timing and instrumentation is stored inside of the analytics part of Relic, which I'll show you, for 90 days as well. And then HTTP errors, and this is actually updated. It says errors. It's all events, all HTTP calls now are stored for 3 days, since it's a lot of data. So how does that help you guys? Essentially, all the teams that are using Relic in the backend, they're writing the APIs you guys depend on. So if we get you guys unified and using the same instrumentation tools, mobile team using the same HTTP instrumentation that connects to the backend of the monitor with the APM product, we can actually automatically stitch it together. You guys have a dashboard that show like mobile performance with backend performance, so it can be pretty useful for collaboration. Help you guys ship faster. That's it for slides. We're going to product now. So I'll start with this. This is actually a demo application that we have. There's just an e-commerce site for like a telecommunications company. So like, this is a mobile app. It's very simple. You can like go go on it, and you can buy phones. It's a telecommunications company, right? So you can buy like a mobile phone, the details, get my card, and I can check out this thing. That's good. Well, it's basically throwing me in here, saying it can't find my username. So what's actually happened in the back end here, this is hooked up with the mobile SDK. So like, if we're an operator of a mobile application or the engineer, and we just release a new version and there's errors, we track all the trends of all the errors here. So that's from the out-of-the-box stuff, crashes, HTTP errors, even down to custom metrics, custom instrumentation of user errors, user experience. So that's our handle exceptions feature. This uses our faceting and filtering capability insights. And this is actually this fragment. This is my exception. Last interaction. It's in the login fragment. That's where I experienced it. But this error looks like it's actually happening in multiple different places in the app. So we can filter down here to see how many users are affected by this, help us prioritize it in our next sprint. Even go down and drill into the detail of the handle exception. So which app version is it occurring in, things like that. This is all new stuff. The mobile team is probably like a little mini startup inside of New Relic, like all the monitoring tools in the project platform. But they have like a 4 or 5 person engineering team solely focused on Android and for iOS. And they've been looking at features like handle exceptions, network errors this year, or like I guess end of 2017. Crash analysis last year, version turns. So they have a pretty fast velocity as far as what they're doing there. So what do you want when you get an error? You want stack trace. You want to be able to go back and look at the actual exception in the application. And this is every single exception. Track them all and save every single one. Handle exceptions require a little bit of like decoration in the code, but it should be simple enough to set up and get running. You guys do anything to handle errors at all? Like maybe like soft error?
Yeah, we have like a retry mechanism for background, and for something that you deserve, it shows a problem that you can retry or not retry the call.
Got it. Like, that's just for like HTTP connections or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's an initial connection.
Cool. So, the other question I have is, do you guys report out like a metrics map, like feature adoption? Release adoption.
No, it's not automation. User for itself.
It's GA.
And I think also makes management there.
So we can track it too. We can track conversion trends. This is actually something your PMs can get automatically sent to them when you release a new version. You're like, no, I don't want that. Well, you don't want to necessarily hide issues from them. This is just going to give you like an automatic dashboard of every launch event, and this is generated when the app reaches a certain saturation level. So on launch day, for example, when we see a new version of the app come online with at least 20% user traffic, then it creates a basically launch flag in Relic. And it's kind of like a deployment flag. It says, okay, in this new version, we have these different metrics, app launches, crash rate, HTTP errors, failures, stuff like that. And it tells you if they went up or down versus the previous release. I don't know if it's interesting to track over time. You guys save this stuff anywhere? Or?
No, that shows it. That shows it.
Well, say crash release.
No, we don't use special this thing.
Oh, you got rid of it.
4 days ago.
Oh, got it. What are you using now, then?
It's kind of like, yeah.
Oh, Hockey app. Yeah, okay. Is Hockey app still going?
Yeah, it's
Okay. Microsoft Word. So you can also go back and look at all the available data here. So this is actually our app. If you haven't used it, there's a Relic mobile app where you can look at. Actually, you can look at mobile performance in the mobile app of the mobile app. See if I can. Let's see. His version trends look much more interesting than that mobile app. Yeah, so here's that demo app with 24 hours of data. Play around with it, swipe some more. Our general strategy is we collect new data in the SDK, new versions of it, and then we later like a build UI for it. So the crash analysis, we have like an event in the Insights database for mobile crashes, sessions, and all the interactions and stuff. It's just plans. And our dev team's pretty good about clearing out all the crashes. So usually there are not a lot of crashes in this app. Let's go back in time. Awesome. And then iOS, that's also live. I guess as any mobile developer knows, the iOS app crashes way less. There's just so much more variation in Android where it's just a fact of life. So yeah, last 1 month we have like 10 crashes. So this is what you would compare to like Hockey app probably. This is panel. Obviously you got your crash rate. This is something that's unique to Relic, crash-free users. I think it's unique. That's something I also check. So it's a percentage of all the total sessions minus the ones that have crashes. And that usually this metric is the other way around in most platforms. It's like crash sessions or something, and it's called a blame metric. Where I just like, oh, awesome, 99.5% reverse around. So when you get a crash, you want to be able to like publish a new one and compare against historical trends. And you also want to be able to flag a crash when it's fixed, right? So we have open and resolved crashes. Once you get into an actual individual crash, you can go ahead and mark it as done, basically fixed in the next build, and it'll stop tracking it in the UI. So it reduces some noise. Headaches there. Oh. She doesn't like bubble.
She use last.
Cool. The filtering and faceting, do we do this everywhere in your Relic now? So we do it in like errors in APM, for example. We've got stack ranked by the count on the crash location as our default view. But you can go by app build, so you can see which build has more crashes, and we can actually click on it, and it will filter. So now we're only looking at build 419. And then let's change the location to file. Let's say we want to look at crashes that occur in, actually that's not super useful. The most useful one is this, last interaction. So because New Relic instruments all the interactions automatically in the SDK, so all the different fragments, if you use an iOS, you basically add a start stop timer to all of them. We can actually show you which interactions lead to crashes most often as well. Some might not be something we're looking at today, or are able to look at. Not really. Cool. So, also, like, how many users, you guys are operating at different scale than most. You have like a super premium product, like, for like different usage patterns than anyone, right? Does that mean that crashes are like more important or less? What's the important thing for you guys?
We have very few crashes.
Nice.
At least we don't see them because too many users.
So do you do like a lot of QA? Interesting. Do you guys do anything like device farm, sort of like farm QA testing?
We have, I think, on card, but we're not using it.
Okay. I'm just curious now. So yeah, you can crash filter. Obviously, all the things you expect are here, where you can like go drill into an actual crash. We're still filtered on the app build. Resolve them here, and then you can actually filter certain breakdowns and facet them. And so this is like the count of against our total crash count, the number of crashes that are caused in this app build in this location, and then it also integrates with the ticketing system, so you just file the bug directly. You guys would use Jira, right? Yeah. I forgot I was listening the other day, they don't use Jira. Like something else, and they're very sad about it. So yeah, crashes would also show you the session trail. So this guy's a crash on open. Let me pick a different one. Probably login fragment crash here. Legal state exception, and it has start of the session and then log in, which is one of our automatically instrumented fragments, and then crash. And then you can go through even the different patterns here. So this one is 2 seconds, that one's 6. Point being, they're all just unique. This is pretty cool. You can like actually operate the tool, but you can also publish certain like sort of KPI metrics into like a rollout dashboard for manager teams or whatever, or just for yourself spending metrics. So this is the same Android app, the New Relic one, and this is a live view of all the events that stream in. And in Insights, we're able to like write queries to get these widgets. So it's mobile. There's a mobile table. It contains all the events, all the interactions on the different screens, custom instrument things here, and you can actually roll these up into session duration, captures, crash rates, stuff like that. So if you want to put a custom dashboard together that says, I don't know, we have 300 users inside of AutoCAD Mobile this week. They viewed 20 design files and crashed once out of those 20 design views. a bit after that to sort of show that you're being diligent, I guess. One of the things you could also do is instrument users. So that's a use case for segmenting out the analytics data. So you could wrap user ID basically when they log in. And there's an API call for that, an SDK, whatever your code. And once you've done that, you can drill in and actually look at their user history. So if you have a support desk that actually fields calls for mobile, like the Autodesk support line or whatever, this could be super useful for them too. Cool. Any thoughts, feedback? It's cool.
The squares we saw before were like what happened when you write the query, it becomes like blocks, part.
Yeah. It's an event table. And this is the mobile event table. So you can aggregate things, that's what those widgets are. So we have a count of mobile events, or you can do actually this widget on the front page here is the unique count of all the sessions. This is the query. Underline that. Yeah. So the idea here is we store all the raw events, and then you let you create them back. So you don't have to necessarily know all the things you want to ask the data. You can just save it off to us, and later go back and review. Say you want to get a trend of sessions from 30 days ago compared with 60 days ago. Time series churn. So let's say 50 days is kind of triangle.
Can we create alerts on top of this?
Yeah, oh yeah, anything in Chrome is alertable. You can take this unique count, session IDs, for mobile, and then the alerts UI is kind of decoupled from all the products, so you can create an alert on any data stream, including that data stream. There's an alert policy. We've got tons of jump policies in here. There's an training policy, all of that stuff. And this is called a NRQL policy. You can do straight up raw metric. So when I run this query, it derives a metric, then we'll basically watch that metric as the event stream. Or you can do it with AI. So this is a baseline. Oh, Render, come on, buddy. This isn't staging environment. Just try to regular query. There we go. So there's our mobile session metric. And threshold it here. If we get a spike in user traffic, maybe we want to have another at 100 unique sessions in 30 minutes. I know you guys probably don't have the same usage patterns as a B2C. Neither do we, to be honest. Cool. You guys want to do a little demo lab the Relic score? You can follow along with me. I'll do it also. Just sort of a simple example of how we instrument an app. Let's see. I made a a special development account just for this training. So, I'm going to add you guys to this account so that you can use mobile. Actually, does your account have mobile? Actually, from that, what account do you have access to? The Autodesk TLV account?
They don't have any account
You
access.
guys don't? Okay.
But I can add them quickly.
Do they have mobile, Michelle? Do you have a trial on?
Yeah, let me see who actually.
I don't think they have an account, but I do see a tab.
Yeah, the tab would be there. I don't think they have it. I think this is probably the easiest way.
Go, can you see it from your account? Go to the purple one. This is purple, yeah. Mobile. I see the plus button.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Mobile enterprise.
Mobile enterprise no trial.
You can actually do it without a trial too. Let's see. You guys have Android Studio? Alright. Do you have that zip file that I sent out? Okay, GP demo app. I put it in, so there's a prerequisites list in the Tech and Relic Slack channel.
You got it? You got them?
I got it.
Oh,
You got it? Awesome.
I have no idea how to use Android Studio.
You have to upgrade Android Studio? Okay, okay.
And there it is.
The zip file and the docs. That's another solution.
Do you have that? You have a virtual device already and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised it got much faster recently.
Just downloaded the product instruction.
Thanks. I was using like Genymotion before. That was the only acceptable like Android emulator. And the Android virtual device emulator in Android Studio was garbage before. It was super slow. They would have been much better. You want to add them some to the?
Yeah, like this now. Just need everyone's email. Right. Save this email. Are we paying per people are meeting?
What's that?
On the licensing, are we paying for each user edit? Or no?
You don't care.
Yeah.
We're not PagerDuty. We kind of think you should share the data with as many people as possible.
Exactly.
Okay, so okay, do you get the invite? Wait, you go to pre-pod one or pod one? Which account did you go into?
I went to the pre-prod one.
Okay, pre-pod is better. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
either you
fine.
got it. What's everyone's name? Email? Full name? What are you guys' full name?
Sergey Amini.
Yeah.
Working in same office.
No, the full name I need. Because it's email. Sergey, can't say, yeah, I need the phone. Okay, phone.
Using Android Studio. It's bugging out.
Sergey-ish.
Oh, here it is. Cool.
Where?
Road call.
Okay, okay, wow. So we should get invite by email.
Invite, but get a faulty.
Faulty or not? Close open again.
Enable sample or something. So,
That's all for me.
good. So, this sounds like everyone you're all, you add an application or what APM after the built-in guide. But I like using docs better. It's a little bit more cleanly worded. So, if you're familiar with Android Studio, you have two Gradle files for the build. You have an app one and a mobile one. And have both of these open. So we need to add the dependency to download the agents. And this says Maven Central. We actually mirror the Android SDK everywhere. It's a Gradle plugin, and it when you build your app, it leaves an instrumentation that the SDK needs. If you plan to continue using another crash recorder alongside Relic, you should turn, if there's some feature flags, you should turn on to disable crash recording. You can't have two crash recorders. You can technically, but it can cause some long behavior. So JSON is the other repository. So add class path for the Relic agents and the version. That's exactly the latest save that guy. That should be only there. And then at the app one, we need to apply the plugin. Merge that guy in. Maybe 5.14, right? I've already checked it, so this is not supposed to go.
So we have tell dependencies.
Outside.
All the plugins.
Yeah. It's all about mobile developer.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about mobile developer.
Love it.
A little bit. The generalist. And then the last thing you need to do is initialize the agent and set the permissions. So this demo app actually has the permissions set or needs already. So you go into yeah. Let's say the columns. Yeah. So see. I just did it for myself. Cool. Right. And so this guy has internet permissions already. last thing is to import and initialize. Main activity.java file. So even import statements. Import Relic. I haven't synced yet, so it's here now. And then you're going to get the token from the Relic UI. So you need to initialize it in the initial on Crete. There we go. And sync. Make sure that goes correctly. So,
Double.
thanks. Thanks, Deepak. Very well. All right. There we go. It's all perfect. And then I need the token. So token comes from the UI. This is the token. It's essentially the string. You can also set that authenticates into our collector infrastructure. You can also support ProGuard. You guys do any obfuscation? You program DexGuard? So we support both. So you can just homologate your crashes. You just upload it to us. There's an API to the build pipeline. Cool. And then I'm going to run this on my Pixel device. I have a MacBook Air, so. I have a bunch of junk. It smells just like my phone. It's fine. My computer's just slow. Yeah. Any questions while I mean, spin this thing up? I think we'll see. We'll come online and we'll connect to us. I'll run a few calls. It does some HTTP gets synchronously.
You just use the app regularly and it sends out the.
Yep.
But it doesn't work with Hockey app in parallel.
For crash reporting, if you want to keep Hockey app in for crash reporting, or like usually what happens is people implement our SDK and then they don't configure any of the feature flags, and then they come to a support team and they're like, support team, like I did this weird crash and I can't understand why, and they have 2 crash reporters enabled and no production build. I think in iOS, one will kick the other one off. In Android, it just causes some inconsistent crash reporting, right? So, since that's likely the case for you guys, I just recommend you disable ours until you're comfortable cutting over to just using Relic's, if that's what you indeed decide to do. Oh man. This item is taking forever. You get a MacBook Air at least again. Yeah, but that's just a general, more of a general crash reporting guideline. You don't need one to it. We have feature flagging in mobile to just turn those off. You can turn any specific features off too. Did you have any food for lunch? Let's see. enable feature flag crash reporting. You can enable or disable the interaction timing, network timing, change logic level. So this is let's see. Wow.
That's great, no?
I ran this just yesterday. It didn't take this long.
You have to charge it?
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? This is not gonna go. I'll stop it. That build was 19 seconds. Just try again. Screwed up actually launching. Nice.
You can go to the data and then we'll show it.
I'm trying to start it in advance. Oh, thought I started it twice now. Awesome. This is the best demo ever. Okay, cool. Cancel. Oh, I screwed up the wrong one. Dang, guys. Alright, well, I've crashed the demo, and I think it's time to abandon ship. But thanks for watching the demo that didn't work. Demo guys went out with me today. I think you got the gist of it though. You can capture all the things in mobile. So, if you guys instrument your mobile app, we would do the following for you, something that we do in our mobile tools. All the APIs that I mentioned, we link those HTTP requests to backend services. So, this is the HTTP request page. If you instrument mobile, we actually show you the underlying APIs that you can call, and these are ones that are monitored by the APM database. So, FunkGet is one that demo app that I was showing you earlier uses that's not instrumented by the APM agent. This is a mobile request API that is instrumented by the APM agent. We can drill down to it. This is mobile. And now we're looking at APM data, and they can go drill down from mobile into the actual code. Yes, we can collaborate there. So this is the actual node backend. It's node. For the mobile APIs, we drill down from the actual HTTP request to the entry point, and they can go look at their actual .NET, sorry, I'm going there. This is .NET API layer. And so this is the actual code execution path and traces of the backend.
So you mapped that.
What's the map tab?
The third one.
Is it turned on in here? We have a few new maps. Okay, this one for now. Health maps. So this is more for backend folk, but this is a representation of all of the services that you monitor, all the applications in Relic, correlated with the infrastructure product is replacing servers, their respective hosts of Windows application. So think of this like a condensed heads-up view of the entire environment. Pulls up alerting groups to the top, and it could be also pivoted either way. So you can relate the hosts to their applications and their metrics. So you can just easily see what's on fire. If you have like thousands of servers, it's a pretty optimized feature. So
If our app uses, how familiar are you with our app?
not at all.
No.
What does it use for like rendering and stuff?
It uses another team's APK from another different team
Embedded inside it.
embedded inside it. So can we like
Are you guys,
can we both embed New Relic and see flashes through it like we have applied in server? Like between us and the viewer team?
you only want to instrument it at the highest level. So if they're giving you like an APK that you're using as an SDK to render things, as long as you have pressure reporting in your app, where it's built is where the instrumentation is added, and they don't have it, you should instrument most of it.
And if they do have it,
It will actually clash when it's screwed. Yeah. So that's a super common scenario where like small companies that write like a video player, for example, want analytics on how their customers are using their video player in their mobile apps, and it doesn't really work very well, unfortunately. But you have ultimate control over what goes in your app.
yeah,
so probably
we can SDK from them.
They probably, yeah, I don't know if they have it in there. What's that team? Autodesk? Euro.
Yeah, we have a V. Don't have it installed.
Name.
Easy.
So so that's the viewer team? Because we talked about that.
Sorry, what was that? Sorry, we were just chatting with them last week.
The viewer team doesn't have an analytics ability for us
Okay,
to track and report everything.
got it.
But you guys wrap the viewer.
Yeah.
So we would need them to implement it, not the viewer team.
Got it.
At least mobile.
Okay. Cool.
The viewer is going to be using, it sounds like the APM and stuff going forward. So I think that works.
Yeah. It's the server side.
Server side, yeah, further back end, there's UI, but not the mobile side. Well, thanks for sitting an hour every day to get educated. I flew all the way from San Francisco, so happy to spend the time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Enjoy the weather.
Well, it was pretty a couple days ago.
It's different, okay?
Yeah.
It's different. It's at least it's not cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not